Hello everyone, this is Biggie here, and today we're going to be talking about the Star Trek Online, the more tactical flavor here. Um, this is based on a more tactical uh, ship and also a tactical captain, or shall we say admiral. So the ship for today is considered an advanced escort, but it's really the Prometheus line. If anyone has remembered Star Trek Voyager and the Prometheus, I think it's Message in a Bottle particular episode, and that episode uh, has one where it's has a particular attack mode that turns into three different parts to itself. So this particular one is exactly that. Now this one is more designed to be about that. It does even have the future an experimental weapon part, which is actually electrical damage, and it actually comes out pretty strongly. And of course, strong abilities for having several different. As you can see here, I have three different uh, cannons. And this is so that I can really push the cannons here. So this particular person here is my main guy, and all his stuff is for tactical officer. Things are a bit different with tactical. So some things are really good, and some things I'm a little worried about. But then again, I've gotten so used to I think the science part of it that things are a bit different. So when it comes down to captain skills for the science, you would want to restrict more into the science as much as, I mean, the tactical as much as possible. You do want to have at least some level of survival ability in order to make sure of survival and strength. So I did try to do as much. Now, if I wanted to, I can change a little bit just to make sure, because some of the science might be a little bit more than usual. But I did try to pick certain things that seem to be recommended from what I can tell. So, but there are certain things I think I wish I could have changed a bit, but this character really does do a lot of that. This character also has different abilities, has different stuff. So, and so I'd use different things for him for the most part. Also, the abilities that he can get through reputation is actually different too. So one of the abilities I really loved about um, with the science is a particular science temporal ability. Now, for science, it is a particular one that you can actually get. It would be usually considered here, and basically a kit module, but instead of the little temporal, what you actually did see at one point, I believe, that looks like a very colorful bubble of sorts that engulfs people. This one instead has this, which isn't too bad. You kind of feel like, ooh, a micro torpedo spread coming out of your arms. I mean, that's makes you feel a little bit like Iron Man or something, in that kind of degree. Um, but it's all different depending upon that. The engineering is different. For the temporal one, for engineering, I believe it's like something similar to the science in the sense of a bubble, but instead of a bubble that this is destructive, it actually is more supportive for like healing and whatnot. to help the team, and so that has been actually really helpful in that kind of degree, but only if you're selecting a supportive character. Alright, so here we are with this particular ship. And yes, this particular ship can actually do a whole lot more. So for an example, let me see here. So as you can see, some of the extra abilities here. I know some of those are around here, so I'm going to go around here a little bit. So one of the extra abilities that I got from, this is actually one of my specializations. For this character, I do have the command officer instead, so you're able to command others, and it takes care of a lot of different other extra things. The pilot part of it, I decided to use that for this particular character, and it does actually have one added extra ability that comes out. And that ability is a rock and roll ability, which is this. So if you needed an extra ability to have better turn rates and everything, you would definitely have that. Now this particular ship actually has quite a bit already, due to the pilot and due to some of the things I have. So it really has something for it. Now this is a T6 ship. I had to buy it. I also had to buy the T5 ship with this in order to get the separation mode. So I can actually use any of the three, whichever one I decide to command, basically the one I do. I usually use Gamma. So let's go ahead and separate it out. So what they do is separately, they're able to separate out and attack with both photon torpedoes and phasers. I don't think they use cannons, but they're all just phasers. So they don't use what I have, but they have that, and they use it on their own, and they all fly around. Now they can get damaged to the point of all that. Now there is a particular part where it takes a little bit of time to get them back together. Sometimes you're able to get them back together even mid-stride. They usually do this, so it kind of is strange, but it's a visual kind of thing. Yeah. So as you can see here, that's what it could actually do, and yes, that was on a Voyager episode. Funniest part, it went against after a Nebula-class starship. So but it was pretty cool how they did it. Now you do get, some things do come with extra abilities, depending upon what you get. So, this one came with a bit of an extra ability. Looks like though this one, if I get some of the other stuff, I could really go for that. And I might just try for that once I find out exactly where. Certain other parts though will have different, because one of the abilities is I do have, here it is. This one has a macro pulse overcharge. So what happens with that is it makes me go faster. And of course, since I wasn't moving, it didn't really help. But, and then this one, I'm not entirely sure exactly where I got all that one, but this is an added extra for shields. So let's go ahead and this one also has, and I'll show this while fighting, but it has a little thing of fire going around. This is actually, for this game, it's actually great for the Herc, which is one particular one that you do through the Cardassian line with DS9, you eventually actually get the Herc, to be able to help you and attack. So, but it does take a little time. These are pretty kind of cool, actually, for a little while, and they do look impressive as extras to go after. This is one of the ones that you feel like you gotta go after because of that. Especially if you don't have like a hangar bay. Technically I do have a hangar bay. If you actually look at it in the very back, there actually is a huge hangar bay there, but for some reason we don't actually have our own little little elite force that we could use, like in my main character, Acleus. So let's go ahead and do a patrol. Let's see, which one should I be doing? Let's do this one. This is kind of more based on, I think, Voyager. Okay, come on. All right. There we go. I wonder what kind of armor that would be. Although, hopefully that will work for some of my other ones. I mean, right now, I really like what I have for what I just got. Because of the shielding is really awesome. But we'll check and see about that.
It is good to see you, but I do not believe we require assistance. Please, you have to help me. I was framed!
Oh no!
Stay out of our way! We're here for the goods on that ship. Our contract doesn't prohibit the use of violence, so...
You are hereby deputized to assist the Benthan Authority with this issue.
Alrighty then.
Claims on the contraband.
The Scorpion is ready to assist. Alright, as you can see here. Yeah, and that's actually a commander ability that many T6 ships have. Certain ships will have certain, like, commander versus, miracle worker / temporal. Let's play around here, shall we? So you can see they're having phasers right there, and they're shooting and things like that. So they're firing photons and everything at it. So they're actually working together, much like actually having the basic fighters that I have for my other character. And let's go ahead and start the other ability. Go. Does that mean we're done? Oh, maybe not. Let's see if we're done. Then go ahead and combine back. Transform. Roll out. Time to get going and stop showing off. Oh.
Thank you. We will take this criminal back to Benthos for question.
Good luck, man. Oh shit. I wish we could change Lisa Flores' name. I can't seem to do that for some odd reason and change her. I guess I could remove her, but... yeah, wouldn't you already have her doing all kinds of stuff? Yeah, it's not easy to do. No, I don't want to beam. Okay, so usually after we do a patrol or we do what we call a TFO, we are able to get rewards. So I did actually see temporal was kind of low. So yeah, and then I get stuff here. Discarding them. Okay. Alright, so you actually solved that part for all that. Now, some of the stuff that you did see. So, I have particular attack patterns. I do have the call emergency artillery, which is where you saw the explosions. This one is kind of like a targeting to mark and everything, get other people to go after it and whatnot. It actually works pretty decently well. It just helps with damage. Same thing with this. And this is pretty much where all the real destruction comes from. And then the beams overload, I usually use this just because it really helps with the beams for power. I do think it's actually quite helpful for that. So, I do have a few science here, but, you know, it's not the most powerful kind of thing, but it helps with groups. That is one of the things that's kind of needed, is to be helpful with groups. This ship kind of doesn't have that. Now, this ship is based on, if you see crew, you'll actually be able to see that there's one person that's a specialization of command. And so command for this part is able to have these added extra abilities that you wouldn't get otherwise. But you have to get that through your ship. Your ship is dependent upon what it has. So, so each ship is different. So my science ship that you saw with the Nebula class has a temporal. It has the ability to have temporal abilities. So does my multi-mission class. It actually has that. And of course you did see the electricity there. That has actually been really workable for these escorts. I believe the escorts predominantly have them, and I think some particular tactical war ones actually have them too. And of course you can add on other consoles and do other things with it. So that actually adds to the power and to be able to have it easier to use. Now, he actually has different ones, so you kind of saw there were different ones for the science. So this one actually helps out with being able to have better defenses, better strength. So if you're going against a really, really hard person, especially in a TFO, you definitely would use this and bring that. Also, due to the fact of this one brings in extra stuff, that is because I do have this particular one up as a starship trait. And so it brings in a particular ship that helps out if I have that. This is the only pretty much one of the only ways besides having these guys come out. But as you can see, this one I can just do right now, and it'll bring it up. So let's see it. See if it actually brings up a ship. Ah, it actually didn't. Oh well, maybe because we're not being attacked or anything. So, but some of my extra abilities are pertaining more to tactical rather than the science. The engineering will have different ones. Probably my favorite one for engineering is the Miracle Worker one, due to the fact that it practically basically saves your ship from dying. Pretty much. It's automatic. Now, as you see here, I've have these particular endeavors. And you saw that I almost got one. So endeavors are really just extra things to be able to have as perks. You get extra perks. Now, these perks are not of just one particular person. It's based on the account. So you have both space and ground. So as you can see on the right there, you see the different levels. So each one has different ones that I'm pertaining to depending upon what. Some of them I either didn't get or thought it wasn't as important. I don't really usually think melee damage is important. Sprint speed might be a little bit. Max shields definitely. I don't know why I didn't. But probably because what happens is that let's go ahead and spend a perk point. This is all we get, is 3 different ones. Alright, so why don't we go ahead and let's do this. So this will actually help in some ways. Now, when I get the other, it'll have something different. Get with something like maybe impulse speed and kit performance. And then I had to choose which one. So, that is actually something there too. Now there is something about this game that's actually pretty interesting but kind of strange at the same time. So let's actually go to the bridge. Now each bridge is different, and you can select certain bridges for certain ones. Unfortunately, you can't just pick any old bridge. Some of them you actually have to buy. Like if you wanted the Enterprise D bridge, the actual Enterprise D bridge, you gotta buy it. Same thing with Voyager. But somehow the Defiant is available, which I found kind of strange, and that this particular ship actually has it. Now what's interesting about these particular bridges is they look kind of huge, which is weird. But let's go ahead and look at the Prometheus Bridge that looks like the Defiant. there we are. And the weirdest part is you're actually beaming in. That's another weird part. So it doesn't look very cramped around here, does it? And yes, you can sit in this captain's chair, or at least try to. Here we go. Ahead, warp factor 5. Mr. Colas. There we go. I love the display of the L cars, just by the way. It was my favorite thing when TNG was out. And you do have your ready room. This one, you only use for one particular mission. That's about it. Now you can do some added extra abilities here, because usually you would go here and just do your duty stuff. You have your assignments. You can pick and choose which one is ready, depending upon what you have, and things like that. Some things actually work really well. Some things work, and things like that. But some of these things you don't get, like having a counselor, available therapy sessions, and then you can set that up. Now if you have certain things, you'll also be able to, I believe it's engineering, yep, assemble prototype. Now if you have the ability to do it, you'll be able to create a prototype torpedo platform if you have it. So let's say it's a quantum torpedo. Now I don't have the stuff, so it's not going to be on there. So I don't, well, I can probably get that, but I don't have this. I can't get that. So, but I could get all the other stuff. So that is one of those things that you could always, I do have that for, I think, my Nebula class. I actually do have that available. Not that it's that important. You are actually able to access your bank account. This goes for all of your people. So if you ever actually have something, you can actually do that. And some things are good that you can pass by, some things not. Like if I wanted to put this one out, I wouldn't be able to do it. I can do this one though. I can do that one. But I can't do some other things, ironically. So it's just highly dependent upon what you want, how you want it. So there you have it. And then now here comes the weird part, leaving the ship. Even though technically you'd still technically be in it after you get back out, but hey. So let's see if we can do something on the ground. So Nimbus 3 is one of the ones that we can actually do on the ground without actually having to like do a mission or anything. And you get to see the ship a bit closer during this time period. So let's go ahead and get to Nimbus 3, which ironically is a Star Trek V place. pretty sure I did everything. Okay. Okay, weird. I seem pretty slow. Ironically. Let me see what I have here for speed. Well, it should be kind of fast, but I don't feel like I'm fast. See, I have a little bit of time. Let me look at the fleet. Okay. And then we'll beam down. And there's my people. Now this is actually a pretty easy place, so I'm just doing some basic showing off for what is the tactical part of it. It really wouldn't be the best say. And let me go ahead and use this instead. There's a photon torpedo there. That's one of my extra abilities I got. Alright. Let's see here. Tactical initiative. No, can't do that. Precipitation. We've got that. The medical cloud to help people out. And then we got this too. That's one of the ones extras when you do your reputations. That'll be one of the ones you get. There is one actually missing that I haven't gotten yet. I can show that to you. I may have shown that already. There's the photon torpedo. Let's see, hold on a sec. Oh, okay. I'm gonna order some extra people. Let's do this, man. I didn't do anything because there was nobody there. That one is one of the ones that was for Ryza. That was one of the more unique ones that was at Rise Up. So I kind of wanted to make sure that this character can kick ass when needed. So I mean, obviously everything is just too easy right now, so he's gonna kick ass either way. Ah, I missed it. Okay. Maybe when the big one comes out. Things are just too easy, that's the problem. Alright, oh, well, yeah, inventory's full. Probably keep way too many things. I'm probably gonna have to get rid of some things that I'm no longer using anyway. Trouble? Thank goodness I'm not a Klingon. Going back to Paradise City. Actually, I should just leave, but you can see that that's part of it. Was there anything to do? Oh, okay. So, destroy boss in the ground battle zone. Again? Wasn't that yesterday? Okay, well. So as you can kind of sort of see, as you build up your character, you'll get extra stuff. Now some of the extra stuff that I got for the ground, it is either something I worked on, like this one of course was the one particular event. This one I believe was the one that is part of the particular event that I was able to buy. I used a different character to get all the stuff, but gave it to him, or shall I say gave him the particular basically the currency that's being used is what I used. So, and then this one is the reputation. This one I believe I bought through the exchange. It was probably, I don't know, maybe a couple million probably. So is this one, I think. So it just depends on certain things. Well, let's see here. Okay. And yes, I got a Julian Bashir photonic officer. Actually, I could do a variety of photonic officers now if I wanted to. Alright, so there you basically have it for this particular one. Let me see if there's anything I may have missed. For this particular character, not really, no. From what I can tell. I mean, if there is anything, I will probably talk about that. So my next up will be about an engineering person. So, and that's coming up in just a few. So, okay everyone, take care and be safe.